Dark green leafy vegetables. You just can't get enough of them. And my absolute favorite is kale. Now I know a lot of people think, oh, kale, oh, bitter, Well, part of the problem is you just don't know how to work with kale. This right here is considered dinosaur kale. There's also curly kale and there's several other different varieties. Right now I'm going to teach you how to make a very simple, nutritious kale salad that will impress friends and family. I promise you, even people who don't like kale will love this salad. What we're going to do is we're going to start the breaking down of the kale before we ever put it into our mouths. This is the first step. Ripping it off of its stem is the very first step. Then we're going to pile it together, roll it, cut it, massage it before we get to any of the other ingredients. And look at these beautiful ingredients. Cranberries, pine nuts, Brazil nuts, lemon. We even have some pomegranates here, oil, and salt. Really simple ingredients to make a great, nutritious salad. So the first thing I'm going to do is pull the leafy part of the kale off of its stem. This is very nutritious, but it can also be very tough and very hard to digest, especially for someone who's not used to eating healthy, dark, leafy green vegetables. But I'm not going to throw these away because these are excellent in juice. I run them through the juicer, I get all the nutrients out, good to go. Again, me personally, I like to make sure nothing goes to waste. What I do next is I'm going to layer these leaves on top of one another, and then I'm going to roll them up like a cigar. This is one of the most nutritious vegetables around. It's chock full of vitamin A, C, K. It's got lots of iron. It's got fiber. It's one of the highest sources for beta carotene. It's got calcium, all sorts of good stuff, all in this. So once I have my pile, I'm going to roll it all together like a cigar, starting with the end close to me and rolling away from me. And then I'm going to do the next process, which is cutting the kale into ribbons. So here we go. I'm going to put them in the bowl. Look at those beautiful ribbons. We'll do it again. What we're doing is we're aiding the breakdown. Look at that. Nice, beautiful ribbons of kale. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to massage the kale. I'm not kidding. We're actually going to massage it with our bare hands. And what we're trying to do, one more time, is aid in the digestion. And I want you to get in there and I want you to really squeeze it. Get all your frustrations out on the kale. What we're looking for is the kale to break down enough that it actually takes on a cooked appearance. And our big pile of kale will get down to about half its size. I can't tell you how many clients have said that they hate kale, and then I teach them this recipe and they absolutely love kale. So you see how it's starting to take on more of a cooked appearance? Now we're ready for the other ingredients. We're going to start with a little olive oil. And then a little lemon. And I really don't worry about the seeds getting in there. I eat those too. The lemon is an acid, so it is also going to aid in the breakdown of the kale, as well as give it a fresh citrus taste. Let's mix those two together. I'm going to add a little salt. And we're going to add some cranberries. And this is going to bring some sweetness to the dish. Because what cooking is all about, no matter if you're a raw foodist or not, no matter if you're cooking with heat or if you're just cooking a raw recipe, it's all about flavor balancing. Sweet, sour, salty, pungent, and then your fat. So here, the cranberries act as the sweetness. I could put the sweetness of agave or honey in there, but what I really like about this combination is those little cranberries are like a little present for the mouth when you bite into it. It's like a little surprise. And then we're gonna put a nut in. I'm gonna put a little bit of pine nuts and Brazil nuts. Usually I just put pine nuts, but they've become so expensive I refuse to buy too many of them. And the nuts in this recipe act as a protein, but they also act as a fat, balancing out the kale, which is the pungent in this dish. And then the recipe does not call for pomegranates, but because it's fall and they are in season and they're so absolutely beautiful, I'm gonna throw a couple in too. There we go. We'll just mix it all together. And then we're just gonna serve it up. We're done. I'm gonna put a little bit more pomegranates on top. This is just merely for decoration. And maybe a little more pine nuts on top. This will keep in the refrigerator for at least a couple days because it's a hearty vegetable. It's not gonna wilt as fast as what spinach would or any other leafy green. If I was going to make it for the next day's potluck, let's say, I would wash my kale, strip it, roll it, cut it, but I wouldn't massage it until the next day. That way you make sure that it's fresh and that it's gonna keep. There you have it, the simplest kale salad there is. I hope you enjoy.